Last week, the biggest real estate companies lost billions in 48 hours. Why? CBRE was down 20%. JLL was down like 12%. Cushman Wakefield down 14%. The reason people are saying these publicly traded real estate companies are down is AI. I think the question is why? Why is AI hurting these real estate companies? And the biggest question is this going to affect small scale investors and landlords? What do you guys think?
I'm not making the connection. Why is AI affecting these stocks?
I think the thesis, they're calling this the SaaS apocalypse, that AI is replacing commercial real estate brokers. Like, people don't need commercial real estate brokers anymore. They can just apparently use AI and they can connect to sellers and they buy the property, and these real estate brokers are out without a paycheck. Is that the case? And on the other side of the coin, does AI help small scale real estate investors? Does property management become easier and less costly? Is it easier to screen tenant?
AI is going to be a part of it. Technology is going to take out realtors. There are some realtors that are going to be, like, if they provide enough value, it's always value driven. If they provide enough value, they will stick around. But yeah, I think a lot of realtors, like, they want to stick a sign in the yard. And when a market's hot, they're making money, they're earning commission. You know, they were a checker at the grocery store last week, and then real estate's hot. So now they're now they're a realtor and they're making commission, and then the market changes and now they're back working at the grocery store, right? And so it's like that already happens. And the realtors that add value, they last over time. But then you throw AI in here, and the fact that, like, we have access at our fingertips to get information on real estate that we used to not have. You used to have to call a realtor, and they had like a big book that they would go through, and that's how they accessed all the information, and they had to give you the information on the property. Well, that's not the case anymore. So when you combine the technology that's already existed these last several years, or many years, last decade plus, that, you know, us as buyers of real estate have access to, then you throw AI in the mix. Yeah, it's going to impact real estate, but it's going to impact, I think, those that are working in real estate more so. The actual realtors, like, they're going to be out of a job.
Well, I think you're right, and I think it's value driven, like you talked about. Some I think there's going to be some realtors or real estate agents or brokers or investors or whatever that gain a superpower based on AI. And they're just extremely valuable
until the robots kill them.
They use the tool, right, until the robots come. But other ones, like you talked about, they're, you know, a lot of folks are going to be taken out. There's also a lot of, you know, systems that will be creating AI algorithms that are doing all the research, that are writing the contracts, that are thinking about all the things that a real estate agent and or attorney was thinking about. Like, all these guys, like, and gals, I think, are threatened in some way. I mean, look at our attorney, even. Like, I mean, not necessarily our attorney. We have a great attorney, but, like,
who's your attorney?
Attorney world
that you're talking shit about. Just say his name on the air.
What's that? No, I actually like our attorney. He does provide a lot of value, but like, we've used some other guys where you're like, I think ChatGPT can basically do the job, you know, for this particular request. So I don't know, man. I'm split on AI. I think that it can be really good until it starts actually doing the entire job. When we start seeing AI do the entire transaction from front to back for a buyer, that could be scary.
People were claiming that real estate brokers were going to be dead with with Zillow, with, you know, on the commercial side, you know, LoopNet and Crexy. And it goes back to maybe just supporting your argument, which is the ones that provide value last. The ones that don't provide value, even in the commercial real estate sectors, are going to be screwed. But the fact remains that people predicted the demise of the real estate agent or the real estate broker before, when Zillow hit. And it didn't. That didn't really happen. I think there's... But
yeah,
right?
Zillow's, you know, a listing service. Zillow didn't have, you know, in other words, it's giving visibility into what's in the marketplace. Wait until you can go to a website and say, hey, I want to tour this home. And it does a quick background check and sends you a code to the house. You walk in the home and a robot gives you a tour of the entire home and tells you all the features, and then gives you another whatever app or whatever the service is to write a contract and think of every single inspection period and all the intricacies. Like that's what AI is, a thinking system, versus Zillow initially was like, it's for transparency, it's for visibility, it's for listings. I don't think that realtors were under the same threat with Zillow as they are today with AI. I think you'll see end-to-end solutions with AI that takes you all the way through the home and all the way through the transaction. If you like what you're hearing on this podcast and want to come and hang out with us, as well as other members who are scaling in cash flow real estate, you've got to check out our Elite Mastermind. Inside, we've got investors who own hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate and are doing amazing things. We'd love for you to come join us. Click the link below.
We will see end-to-end solutions, and I don't think any of us really know. I don't think anybody really knows the full impact that AI is going to have on society as a whole and jobs as a whole and different industries. Like AI will take out specific industries, and it will disrupt real estate in some way. I'll tell you, if I was a real estate agent today, I would stop focusing on transactional real estate and stop focusing on earning a commission and actually go out and buy some cash producing real estate. Actually own the fucking asset. Look, people get into real estate all the time because they want to be investors. They want to own the real estate, and then they're trapped in the transactional aspect of real estate. There is a transactional aspect of real estate, right? But when you're a realtor, at the end of the day, whether it's AI or something else coming for your job, you are transacting in real estate and you're earning a commission based on somebody else's buying and selling of that asset. Those that are going to win long-term are going to be those that hold the assets, that own real estate. So if I was a real estate agent today in 2026, I would quit focusing on transactional real estate and I would quit focusing on trying to earn a commission, and I would try to buy as much real estate as I can and put myself in a better position because I own the real estate versus earning a small commission every time somebody else transacts real estate.
Well, I mean, I always like to tie back headlines like this to sort of real world anecdotal evidence. We're in the market. We're always looking at properties. We're talking to brokers or we're talking to sellers. We have 2 properties that we're closing on. One we close on in a couple of weeks, where the sellers said very point blank, "I'm glad you called me." I mean, I'm paraphrasing. "I'm glad you called me. I'm tired of dealing with wholesalers and brokers." And so I think maybe there's also a little burnout. I think people are tired of dealing with brokers taking 8 to 10% off the top. They know that they can get a buyer in place. They can be more flexible. They can get the terms they want. Buyers can get the terms they want. Sometimes a deal is a lot more efficient when you do cut the broker out. So I think there might be other non-AI related issues where people, maybe this is just a trend for now and that'll change, but people, at least some of the sellers we've been talking to lately, these are older sellers, are kind of over the broker model and over the wholesaler model.
But a lot of people are. Buyers are, sellers are, right? So I think it still comes down to agents are going to have to provide a ton of value, whether that includes AI or not. But the reality is, like, if you're working with an agent that provides a ton of value, then yes, the buyer and seller and the agent, everybody walks away from that transaction winning. But if you have an agent that's really not providing a lot of value, they don't know a lot about real estate investing specifically, and they're not providing value, then you end up paying more for the property because the seller has to pay the commission. Or when you sell a property, you're putting more money into their pocket and they're really not adding a ton of value. Then it's a lose-lose for you and you as the buyer or the seller of the piece of real estate. And so it's going to come down to value. I think agents are going to either adapt to some level of AI and use that to their advantage to add value to their customers, or they're going to die out and cease to exist. And I'm still going to go back to the best thing a real estate agent can do is quit transacting in real estate and own the asset themselves.
To piggyback on what Gabe said, yes, go buy real estate, go buy cash flow real estate. I was a real estate agent broker for a number of years. I got into real estate because I wanted to become an investor, and I didn't understand that at the time. But my life changed when I started buying cash flow real estate. The other thing too is you're the most set up. If you're selling real estate, you're very, very set up to transition into full-time investing. You might not know that, but having the information, the industry knowledge, having transaction knowledge, understanding the key players, the insurance agent, brokers, attorneys, contract information, plus all of your contacts, there's a way to put that together and transition into full-time real estate investing versus the transactional nature of selling real estate. So If you like listening to us, come check us out at 0100tribe.com. We actually have an awesome mastermind. We have some ex flippers in there, some ex real estate agents in there that are now full-time investors, and we're helping them every day to go close awesome real estate assets. Come check us out.